We are following Levi Rosman's adventures in New York City Invitational, a round-robin tournament to give a chance for title seekers as Levi himself to fight for the GM title. And in this video, I'm going to recap round 8. I'm myself Latvian Grandmaster Neiksans. I've been coaching Levi for the past several months, and in this tournament, which is his fourth since the return to competitive chess, Levi again try to get the first GM norm. As you are aware of, the tournament has been pretty terrible so far. Levi, after first 6 rounds, he only had half a point. There was many reasons why this was happening. And then finally yesterday in round 7 he won the game, which raised a bit his spirits. And there you go. This is penultimate game in round 8 against Igor Kovalchuk, probably underrated player who is currently 2057 and had so far in the tournament only half a point. So let's walk through some of the critical moments of this game. So the position, again, started out with the Caro-Kann. Levi actually was a bit late for the game. I don't really know what was the reason. He lost 10 minutes, quite unusual for Levi. Knight c3, d5, and d4. So with this odd ordered moves, Kovalchuk switched to the classical Caro-Kann. So far in the tournament, Levi already had faced the advanced variation quite a few times, where Levi mainly plays moves like bishop f5 and c5, and he was mainly getting nice positions. So this is an older line, d-takes d4, knight e4, and the main reason why this line is not so popular anymore is the so-called Tartakover variation knight f6. Now, the theory here has evolved. This position, this particular setup, at least something like 10-15 years ago, used to be considered that it's in favor for white. However, with some modern developments of the theory, now black is doing pretty much fine and actually very often plays this position for the win. So knight f6 seems to be critical, e takes on f6. And what white is trying to do, white is trying to trade off every single piece, if that's even possible, and then use the so-called extra pawn at the queen side. So if black wants to do something here to justify the double pawns, he has to play aggressively. So c3 was played. This is the main move, protect the pawn. Bishop d6, again, you want to give your bishops long diagonal, bishop d3. And here Levi decided to use one of the opening surprises. He played knight a6. This is something we worked a bit before the tournament, maybe for just a couple of games. The normal way to continue here would be something like a short castle, queen c2, rook e8 check, knight e2, and there's a very huge theory with h5, h4, etc. Levi knows it really well, but I showed him this line and he thought it's a pretty interesting idea to try at least for one game. So the idea here is that bishop takes on a6 is not really so great for white, even though he doubles black's pawns. The thing is, this bishop already has moved twice, and after, let's say, a castle, black is going to play bishop b7, c5, open up this long diagonal, and white has nothing to show against this light square bishop. That's why taking on a6, I believe, is a strategic mistake. So Kovalchuk was better than that. He played queen c2, knight c7. Obviously, you cannot take on h7. This is a poison pawn, and white has to sacrifice a piece. Tactics do not work for white. Knight e2 was played, pretty common move, threading to play bishop f4, trade off some pieces, and h5. Yeah, h5 again is a typical idea here. Black wants to advance at the king side, but the small difference here is that black has not the castle short. So here Kovalchuk played knight g3, and again here there's a couple of choices for Levi. Not really sure what's the difference. He can play g6 f5, he can play h4, he could even play maybe king f8, knight e5, many interesting moves. So Levi decided to play h4, use the tempi, and after knight f5, he decided to trade off the knight. I'm not sure. Okay, probably it was a good and safe choice, but then without the bishops, it's going to be a bit difficult for him to get a sharper game. Maybe it was a better idea to play something like knight e5 and reject any trades. So let's say white would play, I'm not really sure, knight f5 here. I was thinking, can you avoid the trade in some lines and play bishop f8, g6, bishop e6, then bring back the bishop? The ancient quite doesn't fully endorse this, but I think that you want to keep more pieces on the board to create some unbalances. So knight f5 was played. I mean, still it's a fine positional move. Take it, g6, bishop g4, f5, bishop f3, all of this was pretty perfect. Levi played queen f6. I like this move because he keeps the opportunity to castle both ways. Short castle, long castle. White has 2 bishops, but he has difficulties to use them because the position is not open. White was playing pretty quickly here in this position, played bishop e3. Engine gives here a small advantage to black, but nothing really concrete. And I think actually here Levy missed an opportunity. He could have played h3, trying to create some weaknesses at the king side while he hasn't yet castled anywhere. And now after g3, play f4 to get some targets. So let's say g takes in f4, bishop f4, maybe castle along. And there's some ideas. Yeah, the bishop in f3, by the way, is under attack. So queen e4 check, you just play knight e6. And if white ever goes here, you see the pawn on h3 could be problematic in an endgame, and the knight on f4 most likely dominates the bishop. So what happened is that Levy played knight e5, which maybe is too solid. And after the long castle here, black is running out of active ideas. Knight e3, f takes on e3 is just going to be a draw after h3, e4, obstacle bishops, no weaknesses for none of the players. So Levy played short castle finally, and I thought he picked up a nice idea to go for b5, a5, a4. For example, here, white had a possibility to take on d5, but again, it's not so clear if this is good. For example, c takes on d5, you see this bishop on e3 is pretty bad. And black could play rook e8 and rook e4 and b5 and a5. And black has a very nice position. So what happened is that king b1 was played. Levy played rook e8. I'm not sure I like this move. Why not, again, continue b5, a5, a4 and put the rook on b8. So this was a bit strange move. Nothing is happening at the e-file. Now Levy played b5 to secure the knight on d5. g3. White cannot play rook e1 because the pawn is dropping, so white plays g3 and is threatening not only to protect the pawn on h2 but open up the king side. Levy played h3, and after rook e1, suddenly the game finished in a draw. And I can only suspect that Levy was not really happy how this tournament was going, obviously, and he was pretty okay to lose a couple of rating points, but to just get one more game done because there's one more round to play later today. And then again reassess what is the situation and work on some couple of things that are necessary. I think that Levy could have continued here if he had more time. I like the idea of rook b8. Avoided trades, play a5, a4, b4, b3, a3, etc. because it feels that this e-file is meaningless. I mean, Engine disagrees. Engine says queen d3, a5, and queen f1, ignore everything and go for the pawn on h3. I'm not really sure. Again, you always need to watch out for some tricks like b4 and c4. You need to watch out for tricks like knight c3 or b3. If you take it, there's stakes, etc. So the position could be really, really sharp, although, of course, Engine is laughing about me. So that's it. One more game is completed for Levy, and another game is running. So we're definitely going to include more opening choices for Levy with black, not only Caro-Kann, but something sharper. It's work in progress. So if you like the video, please press like, and also please consider subscribing to my channel because this is where I will be posting a lot of inside information about my training process with Levy and also doing recaps of his games. Thank you.